Well, Gary Neville has said what he wants from the next Manchester United manager. He said it on the Premier League show last night. Adventurous, exciting football, playing young players, entertaining the crowd. So, who should United appoint next? We found the manager who is the closest match to Sir Alex Ferguson's style of play. And wait till you hear who is the number one. Let's get into it. We have run the numbers on Sir Alex's final title-winning season in charge. That was 2012-13. Now, this is his radar. Now, this type of visual allows us to see lots of metrics all in one place. It tells us, for instance, that Sir Alex's attacking output was based around crosses. Look at that. The further the value extends from the centre, the bigger the strength. So let's build that out a little bit. If you put lots of crosses in like that, I guess you're likely to play with plenty of width. And look at their width per sequence as well. Much further out from the centre there on that axis. And under Sir Alex, they wanted to find their pacey wingers in those positions. They also liked to play direct as well and have plenty of shots. Now, on the other side, the closer the axis is to the centre, it can be seen as a weakness or something that United didn't tend to do very often. High turnovers. Now, that's winning the ball within 40 metres of the opposition goal. Not something that United preferred to do in that final season under Sir Alex Ferguson. So that's our basic radar, and that visual also allows us to layer other managers' play style on top of it. And the shape that's generated here is an easy comparison between the two. So let's compare Sir Alex, who's in red, and Crystal Palace's Oliver Glasner, who is in the blue colour. Now, we rate him as a 64.5% match. Out of possession, they have many more high turnovers, Crystal Palace, than that United side, but they stack up quite similar with fast breaks, which is essentially counter-attacking. As you might expect, United played with a little bit more width, and as they're a team that's dominating the ball at the top of the league, they had plenty more possession as well. Open play pass sequences there. So can we improve on a 64.5% match? Of course we can. What about Ipswich's Kieran McKenna at a 66.2% match? I feel like I'm dating here. Important to point out, we are measuring McKenna's time in the Premier League with Ipswich here. But again, right, really close to Sir Alex on fast breaks. In fact, pretty much on top of each other there. And also playing direct as well. A couple of ticks in the McKenna box there. Ipswich like to get the ball out wide as well. Rather than flinging in crosses, though, if you check out Ipswich's crosses, they're right in the centre, so quite a distance away, actually, from the strength of United. Rather than putting crosses, Ipswich preferred to work the ball into the penalty area for cutbacks. And just for context on that, they have attempted the most cutbacks in the Championship this season. So we've got a couple of long-term options there in McKenna and then before him, Oliver Glasner. But can we do better than 66.2%? Of course we can. Let's get the official top 10. And number one, by the way, is a big one. The former Spurs and Chelsea head coach, Antonio Conte, is at number one with a 78.9% match. Roberto Martinez, the current Portugal manager, second on the list, given the way his Wigan and Everton sides play in the Premier League. He is a close match as well. Highly rated Stuttgart coach Sebastian Hoeneß, third on the list. And what we've been talking about as a potential interim solution, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He wanted to implement Sir Alex's style of play. It's a 77.7% match. Also in the top 10, Carlo Ancelotti. And interestingly, Fulham's Marco Silva there at 73.9%. I mean, Premier League fans would love Antonio Conte back, wouldn't they, Tim? Would you?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has held talks with Manchester United about returning as head coach until the end of the season. The club have also held informal talks with club legend Michael Carrick, along with the current interim manager, Darren Fletcher. As you can see, our football correspondent Rob Dorset has joined us for more on this. Look, developments on the interim situation, it's quite complicated, isn't it? We're going for an interim and then a permanent. And, yeah. So what can you tell us?
Right. Well, look, Manchester United haven't ruled out the possibility of making a substantive appointment, the next full-time Manchester United manager. But I think their focus at the moment is on an interim manager to get them through to the end of the season. And I'll explain to you in a moment about why that might be the case. But the really big headline that we broke on Sky Sports News earlier on this afternoon is that 3 of the Manchester United favourites of the past are in the mix to get that interim role until the end of the season, and there they are all on the big screen for you. Now look, Darren Fletcher on the end here on the right, we know he's going to be caretaker manager for the game against Burnley tomorrow night, and I suspect he will be in charge for the FA Cup third round game at home to Brighton on Sunday as well. So he's already in the mix, but he is under consideration for a more substantive role until the end of the season as well. The difficulty for Fletcher is he's been the under-18s coach. He hasn't had much experience coaching the first team, so he's probably the least experienced of these three that we're talking about at the level we're talking about. The other two, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, would be a huge story if he came back. Of course, he was sacked by Manchester United in November 2021, so more than 4 years ago, but he's incredibly popular with the Manchester United faithful. And I think he would jump at the chance. He'd probably walk from Norway back here to get the chance to be in charge of it. He loved it, and he gave a very emotional farewell when he left United as well. There was no bridges burnt there and that sort of thing. And the impression I'm getting is that Solskjaer's the favourite. Now, I've not had that from any specific source. I know that they've spoken to him today. Jason Wilcox, the football director who's leading this search, has spoken to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer today, and I think it's pretty clear that Solskjaer has made it clear he would like to return to Old Trafford in this role, be it till the end of the season or whatever. And then you've got Michael Carrick, of course, who ironically replaced Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as caretaker manager back in 2021 before Rolf Rangnick took over. And in Carrick's case, he had 3 games in charge, beat Villarreal and Liverpool, so he didn't have a bad record over those 3 games. And of course, he did so very well at Middlesbrough. So arguably more experienced than Solskjaer in English football when it comes to coaching, not at the top level. And I know they've spoken to him today as well. They have spoken to other candidates, but of course it's the 3 Manchester United old boys who'll get all the headlines.
All right, Tim, we'll get your thoughts on this in just a moment. So that's kind of the interim situation, but a number of managers being linked with a permanent role at the club, and they've been speaking this afternoon. They include the man who was the bookie's favourite this morning, that is the current Crystal Palace boss, Oliver Glasner.